Hello, I'm doing another Animal Crossing video, kind of suggestions video. It's been a long time since I played it. If you watched my previous video, you'll remember that I said I'll probably get bored of it, and as it turns out, that was entirely correct. So, that always happens with Animal Crossing with me. I play it solidly for like 2 months and then get bored. Anyway, here are my suggestions to make the game a bit more enjoyable and refreshing it a little bit. So one of the things that I noticed, now my wife is redecorating my house for me, but I noticed I filled it up pretty quickly. It won't look it now, but so, you know, the main room's full, but if we go into the side room, I don't think she did this one. Bear with me. And sorry as well, oh no, she did do this one. Sorry, my video might be slightly out of sync with my voice, and I've got a new setup. But yeah, so she did this one. It's quite nice looking, I think. I still want to get like a B from the Happy Home Academy, I think. I haven't checked in a while. But one of the things that I thought would be cool for this, basically, once you fill it up with the, you've got the upstairs, the downstairs, and then 3 rooms, I thought one of the more interesting things would be a house expansion. Now, there's a few ways we could do that. So, you could just add another room, which is kind of a bit dull, I think. One of the things I'd like to see is the option to add a greenhouse somewhere. So even if you could build your own or something, that would be pretty cool. So I'd be able to have, maybe a greenhouse takes up this whole garden, or even just in the corner. Add some vegetables. That's another idea that just popped into my head. So we've got the fruit, pretty much everyone's got all the fruit now. If they're playing online, if not, probably find it more difficult, but but if you were to add vegetables, that'd be a whole extra thing that you could try and collect and would add to the kind of Nook stamps, and that would be quite interesting, I think. Now, between my last video and this video, it was Mario's 35th anniversary. In the previous in the previous Animal Crossing games, you were able to get kind of full NES games and that kind of thing. But basically, there was lots of other Nintendo IPs that you could collect and find. I can't remember how you unlock them, but you unlock them in some special way, I seem to remember. I appreciate that they won't do full ROMs now, because obviously Nintendo have their whole, backwards compatibility thing here, where you pay monthly or pay yearly, or however you want to do it, and you get the online, but you also get the NES and SNES stuff. And a lot of people are nostalgia for old Nintendo games, so they can get a little bit of money out of it. Mosquitoes about to get me. So, gosh, it's been ages since I played this. So it makes sense that you wouldn't get full NES games like you used to and that kind of thing. However, it would be cool if they just added more kind of Nintendo IPs to their furniture. Now, I saw that since it's Mario's 35th anniversary, they're adding Mario items in. So I guess that it stands to reason that we'll see more Nintendo IP items at some point. It'll be interesting to see how they integrate that. If you watched my previous video, one of the suggestions I made was diving, and they actually implemented that about 2 weeks after I suggested it. So I was quite surprised. I mean, it's not like I don't think they listened to my suggestion and thought, oh, that's a good idea, let's do that. But I guess what I'm saying is that it stands to reason that there's some logic behind the suggestions that I make, and thinking like a marketer and someone that wants to expand the game. I have that mindset, and it's something that I study in university. Anyway, so the other suggestion I had would be to do with Gulliver. So we've got Gulliver and Gulliver, Pirate Gulliver, how you pronounce it. He's not on my island today. I think that's because I got a KK slider from him. Right, you can have one at a time. I can't really remember. But I think it'd be really interesting to see. I've not got any sound on either, so this will be interesting. It would be cool to see. I've done that wrong. A Space Gulliver. I've come up with the pun name Gully Space, which is not really a pun, doesn't work. So if you come up with a better one, please put it in a comment. But Space Gulliver. So obviously we've got Celeste, but the way Space Gulliver or Gully Space, which again still doesn't work, would be that he gives you things like spacesuits. So we've had cosmonauts and astronauts from all different countries, this kind of stuff, and chimpanauts or whatever. And it would be cool if there was a kind of educational aspect to it, so maybe you could donate them to the museum, and if Celeste ever gets her astrology area, you could add it to the area, it'll tell you perhaps when actual ships launched, when space missions took place, that kind of thing. The other thing that I thought would be cool is if you could get like little planets that, you know, would be furniture, not real size planets obviously, but little planets that you pop down, they spin around, all the rest, you know, and you could have a whole kind of space room, maybe some, and give you like those 90s glow in the dark stars that everyone had. Are these weeds? I think they are. Because, you know, I think a lot of the people that play Animal Crossing, I don't want to say old, because I'm getting there, but, you know, if you're kind of 30 years old, that kind of age range, 25 to 30, you might still have a bit of nostalgia for the 90s, where everyone had these glow-in-the-dark stars. And, you know, if Gully Space were to give you them, it would just add a kind of warmth, I think, kind of nostalgia. Previously I did 5 suggestions, but I could only come up with 4 before I stopped playing it. My final suggestion was bug and fish sizes. Okay, so I'm not hugely competitive, but I am hugely competitive against my wife, which is kind of sad because she's beaten me on this now because she's taken over my son's island and is making that much better than my current island. But one of the things that would be cool is, you know, you can show off your insects and your fish, so let's grab one. So you can show it off, cool. But it would be good if you could catch different sizes. So you could all line up in a row and see who has the biggest fish, who has the biggest insect, that kind of thing. And then you could swap them out. It's still something I'm campaigning for. I want to be able to customise my museum. I want to be able to change where things are. And it would be really interesting to see if we could add things like, you know, swap the bugs to different sized bugs, or have the biggest and the smallest in there, or something like that. But I think it just adds a level of competitiveness. So, you know, you could have a massive mosquito, or is it an atlas moth? I can't remember what they're called. You know, a giant atlas moth and a tiny atlas moth, or that kind of thing. Just while I'm here, has anyone noticed that these little bugs fight? And like little bug fight club at night, I think that is. I don't think it happens during the day. I can't remember. I kind of feel sorry for him. So they're my ideas. I'm sure you've got some interesting ones. If you do, comment them, and maybe we can discuss them. Cool. And I hope you're still enjoying it more than I am. It's not a bad game. I get bored. More games come out, I get distracted. Anyway, thanks for watching.